After we got the mayor. All right.
I'm here.
Oh.
Gerard, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing great, Mayor. Thanks so much for joining us. Glad we got all that squared away. We're happy to have you on the program today. How are things in Natchez?
Man, busy, hopping. We can't keep up with it. It's great, Gerard.
That is awesome. That is awesome, and so glad to hear that. It's a beautiful city there on the river and a treasure in the state of Mississippi, in my view. So honored to have you on, sir.
Thank you so much. An honor to be with you.
All right, so you had a bit of a surprise. Is that true, or were you notified about this?
We had a little unexpected company last Wednesday over at our transit office. We had some folks dropped off by ICE, and it was a big group of them, and it was more after more after more. They just kept on coming. And before we knew it, we had 60 or 70 people there, many of them without money, no cell phone, nothing but the clothes on their back, and totally unable to speak English. It was a crazy situation. And then when someone in broken English said, when about 100 more are on the way, it became a crisis.
So why Natchez?
Well, a lot of people love to come to Natchez, but I don't think these people really wanted to be here for our tours and views of the river. They just wanted to get out of here.
Golly. So it just appears, though, from all accounts, that ICE is just processing these immigrants as they cross the border, and they're just dispersing them across the country. I'm not aware of any other situation where a group, I guess, has been transported like this to another city in the state. It appears Natchez only has that distinction. I just was curious. So what did the ICE people say? They just, hey, we're here.
We are a top tourist destination, and I guess they felt we were worthy of it. We actually, when we got wind of this, the director of our transit authority was really concerned, and we very soon had a record number of people all on one call. I didn't know my cell phone could hold that many people at one time. And we had everybody from county supervisor, sheriff, prison people, people from across the river, anybody we could get on the call, and we were able to track it down pretty quickly that they were all coming from a private facility in Faraday, Louisiana, called River, a correctional facility there, privately run. And they were just following orders by ICE. But, Gerard, it's no joking matter. I mean, just to dump people without any warning and without even preparing them and following the proper protocols. But I do have to hand it to ICE because they obviously are really up on their technology, because they use a very sophisticated platform in making the decision to bring them to Natchez. And that platform is called, let me see if I can get this right, Google. Yeah, and so they Googled nearest bus station, and that's why they brought them here.
Okay. All right. So there it is a little bit of logic, at least, underlying this incident, because at first it just looked so random, like, why Natchez?
I know. But, Gerard, this is the logic that completely goes out the window. By the time we found out about this, we were able to round up some interpreters. We even went to local Mexican restaurants drafting volunteers.
Wow.
We did. And my chief of staff here at the mayor's office, wonderful guy named Richard Burke, he had a little broken Spanish. He went over there and helped out. What we found out is that all of the regulations were being just totally ignored. Some of these people, ICE is supposed to release these people with a travel plan, at least $300 in their account provided by family members, an understanding of where they're going, and a bus ticket to get there or arrangements for one. And this just simply wasn't the case. But what was really illogical is that a lot of these people had been picked up in other parts of the country, shipped to our area at great expense, only then to be flown back out somewhere else.
Wow.
And also the taxpayers footing the bill enormous rates at these prisons per day. And in my opinion, frankly, it's a boondoggle, and it's bad public policy, and the taxpayer is getting the shaft.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Mayor, do you feel like ICE, I mean, how were they contrite? Like, we're sorry, we have to do this, we're just following orders? Or, I mean, kind of what's their position, best you could tell, I guess?
Well, I will tell you, our police chief, our sheriff, here in Natchez, our Chief Daughtry, Joseph Daughtry, our Sheriff Travis Patton, and the Sheriff of Concordia Parish, David Hedrick. They were the ones who spoke to ICE on our behalf because they have been dealing with these situations, because there are other facilities, even here in Adams County, as you know, where we're housing these detainees. And these are now former detainees. Well, what we found out through their interactions with ICE is basically, oops, sorry this happened, it won't happen again. Well, I hope that means it won't happen again anywhere, but this was on a Wednesday, and last Friday morning word was already getting to us that another 100 were on their way, and it was happening again.
Gosh.
And we got calls in play, and I don't know if it was rumor or fact, but bottom line is they did not actually bring them here Friday, and we were greatly relieved.
Wow.
I do want to say this, though. Every person that we encountered Wednesday were very kind. They were very agreeable to everything we were trying to do to help them.
Yeah.
And our police chiefs, the sheriffs, everyone got involved. And even a lot of volunteers at their own money, at their own expense. And by that evening, every person was on a bus or a private van or vehicle headed somewhere. And I'm just really grateful for the way our community stepped up to help.
You know, we got just about a minute here or so, Mayor, but I'm not surprised. You know, Mississippians are very generous people, and you know, this is not so much the fault of these people. They get wrapped up, as you know, in all kinds of circumstances where sometimes it's a matter of life or death. They got to move. They got to do this. And you got the Biden administration really just rolling out the red carpet and encouraging this to a great extent. It's just a big old mess, and it just doesn't seem like, as we've talked about on the program, until we come to grips with the fact that this is a crisis, a serious problem, we're going to solve it.
Gerard, you're right, and it's a lot more than you and I can solve on a radio interview.
Yeah.
But I just hope that in time, logic will prevail, doing the right thing, treating people the right way. This is America, and we shouldn't be treating people with anything less than respect. But obviously, we do have to enforce the law, and we do have to make sure that people here abide by our laws and go about it the right way. So it's a big, complicated situation, but I do hope that the federal government will not impose the situation upon the small towns of America, because it is an expense to us. It is an endangerment to our community. It's an imposition to our law enforcement. And just think of people who can't even speak the language being dumped out without any money, without any food, any form of transportation, and what that could actually do and mean for a small town if this was to continue.
You're so right. And Mayor, we definitely appreciate you joining us today and sharing that experience with us and your insight on that. And we'll have to have you back again. Good luck. I'm told you got a Sasquatch festival coming up. We're about to a break, but I just wanted to mention that and give a shout out.
Thank you.
Appreciate you joining us.
Great. We'll have to talk about that. Gerard, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it, man.
Talk to you later, brother.
Talk soon.
God bless.
You bet.